The women won a gold medal. The men participated in the last World Cup, raised the profile of the sport. We never had a team that had so much talent. I don't know what I was thinking, and played the softest pass there could ever be back to my goalkeeper who didn't expect it. Unfortunately, I'm reminded of that moment a little too often, dreaming of becoming a pro soccer player and watching the Impact win. Then 2004, 10 years later, I'm on the team. These feelings are undeniable.
Now this week, here in studio, we have former baller and director of content at FC Montreal, Pat Leduc, who played for Montreal, the Impact, 11 seasons. Man, that's a feat. 11 seasons from 2000 to 2010. He grew up in St. Lambert, South Shore of Montreal, played minor soccer. I mean, this guy is soccer through and through and through. He worked in media as a soccer analyst and color commentary for RDS, which is French version of our friends over at TSN, and wrote a column for La Presse. He returned to the Impact in December 2018 and has since occupied various positions within the organization, but now it is all about marketing, and his role in content is definitely being felt. So we're very excited to talk to him. Welcome back, everybody, to TSN 690 iHeartRadio. This is the first half. I'm Paul DeWay, and in studio is none other than Mr. Pat Leduc. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, Paul. I'm better, actually.
You're better, which is
already
good.
better.
Already better because you're on air live.
That's
and
right.
You're feeling good and you're drinking a little delicious
I feel
water.
The vibe.
It's not an easy feat to be in the world that you are in that football ecosystem, and go from playing for years, 11 years, and I'm talking on the pro level, and then moving into the back office.
I don't know about natural, but something I desired for sure.
Yeah.
Because I realized really early in my life that I enjoyed soccer a lot. I enjoyed sports in general, but soccer the most, and kind of made it part of my daily diet, if you will. I wanted to play soccer, watch soccer, talk about the sport. So once you figure that you can't play forever, and that you don't know for how long, even if you will get to play at a pro level, you try to find ways to integrate soccer in your life, and working, getting a job in the world, in the sport seemed like an attainable goal and something I wanted to do, whether it was with a club, in the media, or in an office like I am today. You realize that, okay, you're born in Canada, so you're maybe not in a world where there are several pro clubs, where there are several opportunities. If it doesn't work in Montreal, there might be several other clubs in the region where you can maybe try to make up your way to ultimately a first division, like if you're in France or in England. But
that pathway is not there.
That pathway it's completely different. But which was a frustration when I was a teenager, when I was dreaming of being a European with a passport, where I could play, and maybe if it doesn't work there, I'll go there. But then you realize later that I'm fast forwarding many years. Well, there's an opportunity, because not a lot of people seem to know much about soccer, which is not entirely true. We have a lot of knowledgeable fans, and people love the sport here, but that community has to grow. So there's that opportunity where you have to share your passion. You have to do what you can to make it more, maybe not accessible, but to raise the level of expertise in our sport. Some would say you raise the level of criticism in our sport, because now you feel like you know more,
so you think you know better than the players and the coaches.
But that's also growth in the culture
discussion
of the game. So I felt like, well, I could play a part there, and if it could be in the media, well, that's better. It's a good, it's a good opportunity to share to a larger number of people what you feel you can explain. And I did this for a number of years, never really wanted to criticize or anything like that, but tried really to be constructive in what I was
analyzing or discussing.
And it also, the fact that I took coaching licenses, realized, when you're a player, you don't always understand what coaches are trying to convey to you, and you become a coach.
Did that change your mindset by doing the licenses? Yeah.
Right, because you try. Well, I guess you understand, or you see the objectives a lot clearer. Then you realize that the methods will, take longer or shorter to get someone there. But not all players react the same way, and I realized that maybe sometimes I took things a little too personally when I was a player, and realized that many coaches really had something constructive in mind. I did not, and I do not agree with all the methods that are out there. The old school way is not something I'm a big fan of, but I could see how you could achieve something, and think that it could be a successful way of approaching things. Yeah. But it felt like the level of knowledge in Canada was a good opportunity to bring your knowledge and to share it to as many people as you could.
When you stepped in 2000 into that pro world with the club, and then you see where you are today in 2026, it must be just an absolutely massive difference in this knowledge.
In many ways, yes. The number of people that have played or that have children that play and that are in contact with the sport, that are not don't feel it's a foreign object or something that is not Canadian, not Quebec, is not what it used to be. The fact that the women won a gold medal, that the men participated in the last World Cup, helps us, raise the profile of the sport. And in many ways, there's still so much to be done, because parents still don't understand a clear pathway to the pro level or to the women's national team. And maybe you could say the same of hockey, but we don't feel like hockey's very complicated. If you're good, you're going to make it up to midget AAA, and then you're going to make it to the juniors, then the big leagues. But in soccer, you still need to explain these pathways.
Does the World Cup this year push that needle even further?
Not to put the pressure on the boys, but I think if the national team does well, it will. If we end up not doing as well as we thought we could,
then it peters out a bit.
A little bit. I'm a little afraid that all the FIFA demands and the bad press that the organization might be getting might affect the legacy. But I'm pretty optimistic, because I really think we have a team that has talent. Yeah. And even if they don't do the best performance that they could at this tournament, I think that the foundations are very strong. We never had a team that had so much talent. Yeah. We didn't reach the 2022 World Cup by accident.
It wasn't a gimme.
No, and Copa America was in the last few years. We saw a team that's growing. I think handling the pressure of playing at home is something that they'll know it once in their lives. Hopefully we host other major competitions in the future, but this is a once in a lifetime thing, and I think a lot of players can shine. I really believe in that team. Some players might be. It brings people together just like it does during the Olympics, and the emotions that you feel when you're watching a game on TV at a stadium during a World Cup, these feelings are undeniable. And Copa America, we could do something. We could be a surprising team in the future. So, well, we're no longer going to be surprising, but
that's it. We're not.
We have a really good team.
We're going to ask you. We got to do it. It's great for clips, and it's also going down memory lane. You probably have one small little negative event in your footballing career that rings true as one of those moments you wish you could, completely change what had happened. Does something come to mind when someone asks you that question?
A few slip-ups.
It's okay. It's constructive memory. It's for the people that are going to listen to this that can learn from this, man. It's a teachable moment.
Unfortunately, I'm reminded of that moment a little too often at the office. So there's, I think it was the 2002 season. So I'm in my third season with the Montreal Impact, and trying to make my way into the starting lineup and being not only a bit part player, like a marginal player, but being, having a role. And I had a great camp. We're coming up to the season opener in Charleston, which was one of the teams that probably had won the championship. So a good team. And we had a new coach, and he trusted me with, and he made me play, as a center back or right back, which wasn't the position I really enjoyed playing, but, I was a starter. So,
play. Yeah, right.
And I remember, Gabriel Gervais, who's now the president, was center back and was also probably starting his first game for us as a center back. And we knew each other from playing at other, in the junior levels. And I think he passed the ball to me, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I just brought the ball back towards my goalkeeper and played the softest pass there could ever be back to my goalkeeper who didn't expect it. The one player who did expect it was the forward, the striker from the opposite team. Yeah. So I think we ended up, I ended up not giving a goal up, but giving up a penalty, which was the game-winning goal for the other team. The coach yanked me at halftime, and that was a terrible moment where I worked so hard to get to that point where I was a starter, wanted to prove myself, and basically choked. And I mentioned it as, I did choke because I felt like the pressure there took me out of what I was really good at when I was playing, which was not really thinking about what's going to happen and the consequences, but really thinking in the moment, what do I need to do? Which is, need to put the ball there, play it with my left foot and play it forward, and basically not really thinking at all. I'm just playing the moment. And that's like kind of the lesson I learned, that, if you're thinking about outcomes and thinking about consequences and not thinking, living the moment, you're not going to play great. And it happened. I made many mistakes in my career, and generally, my mind was not where it should have been at the moment.
And is that something that today a young footballer can listen to? Is that something that coaching, doesn't matter the department, the position, is this something that they are constantly, or even you in your daily, when you see, I know you're in a different sort of sphere right now in the team, but a young footballer needs to hear that.
I have high levels of anxiety. We talk about how social media affects their mental state, and I felt like at times when I wasn't playing well, it was probably in a state of panic, of anxiety, where I was thinking about what's my coach going to think about this action? What's the crowd going to think? And you can't be thinking about that if you're playing. You need to be executing, and how is this going to affect the opponent? How is this going to help my team? This is what you need to be thinking about.
Right.
How can I successfully strike the ball to make it go into the net? This is basically what's going on really quickly in your mind. If you're thinking about, what's that what's that guy on the radio going to say if I miss the shot? If you're thinking about that, it's not going to happen.
Right.
And everybody, when we talk about this, in a classroom with young players, everybody agrees. But when it's putting it into action, even during practice, well, you need to work on it. And this is where, mental preparators, those coaches are really important. They really help, even with meditation, they help young players and pro players get into the right mindset, and routines are really important. And we used to say, are you superstitious? Well, superstition was a lot of the routine of doing the things that put you in the right mindset to make you successful and to put you in conditions to be at your best on game day. So sleeping, eating, but also putting yourself in the mindset that makes you the best player that you can be. And I realized that a lot later that, did I choke? Well, why did I choke? Well, I was thinking about the wrong things.
Well, that's perfect, because now we get to go down the right road. You got to give us one of your favorite highlights when you were playing as a pro footballer.
That one's
gotta be one
nostalgia all over.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
winning a championship in 2004 with Montreal Impact, it's a full circle moment. 1994, the Montreal Impact won their first title. I was there, Saint Claude Robillard, as a fan. Watched Mauro Biello, Nick DeSantis, John Demniadis. They won the title. Rudy Doliska, MVP, and I was subjugated. I was really enthralled. I'd watched the World Cup in 1994 in the U.S. I was passionate about the sport. I was part of a Quebec team, so under 17, good team. I was dreaming of becoming a pro soccer player,
Right.
and watching the Impact win in 94 really
Brought it home.
And then 2004, 10 years later, I'm on the team. We're at Claude Robillard. I started playing. There is less than 1,000 people in the stands. We had 13,000 people at Saint Claude Robillard, which was a number I didn't think we could reach at that stadium.
Yeah. Hanging
we
off
win
the
the
roof.
game. I played a good game. I'm really happy. I was really satisfied with my performance. So that's a great memory because I felt like I contributed, and the feeling was genuinely really satisfying, and not only for that game but for several months.
What is your prediction for the World Cup? Who do you think?
I don't see Argentina repeating, even though they're really strong right now and they'll be tough to beat. But historically, we haven't seen that, recently.
Yeah.
I think France is a contender, but I would say, either Spain or Germany.
Right.
And Germany might be a little bit of a
Really?
surprise, but
That's a
I
little
feel
bit
that
of a-
they're coming up and they have a high energy team, and if they are underrated, it could play in their favor.
All right, Patty, you know what that is.
Sesame Street.
Yes.
I remember
Yes.
that cartoon.
The amazing cartoon.
I'd like to see it again.
I am telling you, nobody knows that song.
Ah.
Every single time. I'm like, are you crazy? We must...
Kindergarten, we used to watch Sesame Street.
What we're doing is aging ourselves, so let's just move on from this quick. All right, this is 12 questions here on the first half with Pat Leduc. You ready to go? Question 1. What is your favorite film?
The Untouchables.
Number 2, what is your favorite song or band?
I still like Led Zeppelin, Since I've Been Loving
There's
You.
no wrong answer. Number 3, favorite sports team?
FC Barcelona, outside of the Montreal Impact, CF
Well done.
Montreal.
Yeah. Well done. Number 4, favorite athlete, dead or alive?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look, yeah.
Just choose one.
When he played for Barcelona, I loved Lionel Messi.
Okay. That's it. You don't have to.
That's
You don't
it.
have, yeah, you don't have to
Oh,
go further. Yeah, it's okay.
hey.
Okay, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yeah. No, I like Michael Jordan a lot.
Perfect. Number 5. What is your favorite food?
Changes all the time. Love food in general.
Amazing.
Montreal smoked meat at Schwartz is amazing.
Amazing. Number 6. What is your favorite drink? Alcoholic and non-alcoholic.
I enjoy a Negroni once
Very
in
nice.
a while.
Classic. Yep.
That's alcoholic. Not alcohol. Wow. Well, coffee. I drink
Perfect.
a lot of coffee.
That's don't we all? Number 7. What would be one thing you would buy if you won the lottery?
A fourth bike, a road bike.
A road bike. Amazing.
I'm crazy about those right now.
It's all good, man. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Number 8. Dream trip.
Oh. Wow. I'm into cycling destinations right now. I'd go to Corsica
Beautiful.
for months.
For months and just bike.
Yes.
I love it. Number 9. How do you deal with stress?
Oh. So I still train daily. I'm into triathlon right now, so
wow.
that is my the way I deal with stress.
Very smart. Very good. A little after hours question. Pajamas or no pajamas, Patty B?
Used to be no pajamas, but I'm getting older, so I wear pajamas now.
Amazing. Number 11. What is your favorite fashion brand at the moment?
Oh. Wow. Used to be more into fashion than I am now. Man, I'm so outdated.
No, there's no wrong answer. You can look. Anything goes.
Look.
Sportswear. It doesn't matter.
Okay, I like Sartorialto. I have a few jackets and suits from the Montreal tailor.
Amazing.
Sartorialto. Yeah.
Amazing. Perfect. Name one thing you cannot live without.
Wow. I'm not original, but I'm gonna say soccer.
No, that's very original. And we sneak in one last one. So 12.1. I need one word to describe football. So football is.
And so it's trademarked, but football is life.
No, it's not trademarked. That is amazing. That was 12 questions here on the first half with Pat Leduc of CF Montreal. That was amazing. Thank you so much for spending your part of Friday evening with us.